There we go. We're live. It takes a minute sometimes. I don't know why. Today is Saturday, April 26th, 2025. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a busy day, but not so busy that I can't play puzzles, and not so busy that I have to play the puzzles as fast as I can like I did yesterday. We get to sort of settle down, think clearly about puzzles and all that stuff. So, you know what I'm not thinking clearly about? I'm not thinking clearly about erasing yesterday's puzzles. Look at that. I still have yesterday's puzzle open. That's so funny. All right, let me close these in the background here, and I will see if I'm on the right page there. Looks like my stream looks fine. That's funny. And you'll have to forgive me. I just woke up. I did take a shower, though. So last night, let me just explain. Last night, I think I told you in the live stream, I was racing to get ready because my band had a gig, and it was an awesome gig. It turned out so fun, so fun. We played about an hour and 45 minutes of music, and no break. We just plowed through the whole time. And it's big band music, right? And these two people are both dancers. In fact, he is a dance instructor and she's just a fantastic dancer, and they met at one of our gigs, and I think that's why they invited us to play, because it's like an homage to the fact that, you know, they met at one of our gigs, which was really fun. So we're playing this this wedding, and there's not great parking. It's at this historic site. And historic sites really don't have great parking. There's just like one road, and you have to park up the road. And I called ahead, and I was like, hey, there's just not very much parking here. How am I going to get my equipment? There's parking elsewhere, and then you have to like walk down this hill. And I'm like, I can't do that with a cart full of drums. Is there a way that I could park close? And she didn't call me back. This was like 10 o'clock at night on Thursday, and I just left her a message, and then she didn't call me back. She called my band leader back, and I think that overwhelmed her a little bit, because she was like, oh my gosh, we've never had a live band in the historic building before. But it ended up it worked, right? She kind of put her mind at ease, like, oh, there's not any damage that's going to happen. It's going to be fine. So we ended up playing this gig, and it was so fun. Lots of people dancing the entire night. People from even out of the country came. There was great food. They were like, oh, come help us finish this, after our set. And I didn't get home until pretty late. It wasn't quite 11, but it was pretty late by the time our set was done and we came home. And what else? Yeah, it was just super fun. And the other thing is I missed another obligation that I had this morning. Well, it wasn't an obligation. I told them that I might go. And I woke up so late, I was like, no, there's no way I can get over there. I not sponsor, but I just like, I'm not even in charge of it either. I help with a neighborhood youth group. Kid's a little bit younger than my son, but he comes to the things, and I said, oh yeah, my son and I will come, just to hang out in the morning. And I looked at my watch when I woke up, and I was like, nope, not happening, because I got home so late from this gig. It was so fun. We played like crazy. We were all sweating, by the time we were done. It was awesome. It was super fun. Hey Void, how you doing? Void the Beast is here. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing super good. We had a very busy day yesterday and an equally busy day today, but that doesn't mean we can't play puzzles early in the morning. It's still pretty early in the morning. By my account, I slept in, but by the world's account, I think I'm. I remember that, Void. You play Sudoku, huh? But then wasn't it you that you pronounce it differently, Sudoku or something, because your dad pronounces it that way? I forget. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's play the connections, and then we'll do the mini crossword, and then we'll play the Wordle, and then we'll play Strands and Letterboxd. Okay, I see Glenn, Gary, Ross, Color. These are some names. Hope, Hollow, shade, lube, del, dole, genre, tone, hue, dre, dale, and marley. Okay. So the first ones I saw were like a glen, a dale. I saw another one, a hollow, and a dell. These are like quaint little valleys. Okay, yeah, valley. I also saw like some names of artists like Bob Marley, Dr. Dre, Slim Shady. Maybe not. I see tone, hue, color, and shade. Okay, that one makes sense. Do you remember? I think it was called vertices. What was called vertices? Your Sudoku puzzle was vertices? I don't remember. All right. So Ross. Oh, Bob Ross, Bob Marley, Bob Dole, and Bob Hope. Yeah, these are Bobs. Bob Dole, Bob Hope, Bob Marley, and Bob Ross. Bobby Marley. And then Gary, Dre, lube, and genre. What do those have to do with each other? Color anagrams. Oh my gosh, I would not have gotten that. Look, we're talking about color in the yellow one. Tints, right? And then color anagrams. Dre for red. Gary for gray. Genre for green. Oh, I didn't realize genre and green are anagrams of each other. That's funny. And then lube becomes blue. Wait, there was a New York Times game. I don't know. Called vertices. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't play those. I just play these 5. I don't even play tiles, right? And there's that one like spelling game where you come up with words like a jumble, but I don't feel like it has the meat that it used to have. There was this one called the Jumble that I would play every morning in the newspaper, in the printed newspaper, and since then I haven't really gone back to play the Jumble, and I haven't seen the Jumble. Yeah. Oh, and I don't play tiles either. Isn't that weird? I don't even play tiles. I love looking for patterns and things, but I don't know. I love these word games the most. It's funny. All right, so valleys. These are Dale, Dell, Glen, and Hollow. Tint would be color, hue, shade, and tone. Hue means how much. Hue means color. Shade is kind of like saturation, like how much color. Yeah, that's interesting. Like the light and gray tones. Bob Dole, Bob Hope, Bob Marley, and Bob Ross. And then color anagrams. Dre for red, Gary for gray. And then genre for green, and then lube for blue. That's pretty clever to come up with anagrams like that. I didn't even realize those were anagrams. Oh man, this is a huge puzzle, but they're all 4 up to 7 letters. So let's see how we do. A fancy party. I went to a fancy party last night. We played music for almost 2 hours. It was super fun. A fancy party. A rave. A shindig. I don't know. We'll come back. 5 blank. Discount store chain. Oh, I know that one. Five Below. Bottom stripe on a pride flag. Oh, I just recently looked at a pride flag. Why was I looking? Oh, because I was seeing the comparison between pride flag and the what's the city, like Costco, Peru? Costco? No, it's not Costco. Shoot. Oh, I forget the name of the city in Peru, and their city looks like the flag looks like a pride flag, and and literally it's just a rainbow, right? And then a few years ago, they added like a traditional Aztec symbol or something to it, so it wouldn't just be a pride flag. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think the bottom stripe of a pride flag is the purple one. I could be totally wrong. Bedtime outfit, informally. So it's not your jam. Well, maybe it is your jammies, actually. Do you think that fits? I mean, it fits, but I wonder if that's it. We'll come back to it on the down, see if it fits. Task to run. Task to run. It is a task to run. I hate running. But you can also run a task on a computer, you know? I don't know, we'll come back. Actress Keaton of Father of the Bride. Oh, that's Diane Keaton. Is that D-I-A-N-E? Diane? I think I spelled that right. Car ride game. My kids play lots of games in the car. They love looking for license plates that are out of state. Right? They're like, you know, oh, that one. Or new cars, too. My favorite one to point out. No, Light, I have not had another steak calzone. I did have a chicken bacon ranch calzone. Remember, I bought a bunch of them on clearance. I brought a chicken bacon ranch calzone for lunch Friday. Yeah, it was really good. It was super good. Oh, a ball. Oh, it could be a ball. Yeah. We'll come back to that one. Fancy party might be a ball. Car ride game. Spot it. I don't know. We'll come back. So while we're here, it probably is actually a ball, right? Okay. Country in which the automobile, aspirin, and the accordion were invented. Is it Bermuda? I feel like this one's not right. I feel like the automobile too? Because I feel like here's what I'm thinking. I think this one starts with an A because it's Armenia. Oh, but it doesn't fit. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute. All right, let's go to this one because I'm not quite sure. Mountain related is alpine. So maybe it is ball. Oh boy. Okay. Was audibly amused. Slangly. Lolled. Is that really it? Lolled? Because you're saying this might be ball. It might be. Really impressed. Oh, you know what? It's not. It's gala. Gala. Because look. Really impresses. Awes. So then this one even makes sense too. Country in which the automobile, aspirin, and the accordion were invented. Germany. Yep. Unfair reputation. What are they trying to say here? Bum luck? I don't know. Well, I thought pajamas too, but it's like informally. Bedtime outfit, informally. Host of the 2024 Summer Olympics. That was Paris. I wonder if it's fitting. I think it's working. Warrior monks who keep peace in the universe. Per George Lucas, they are Jedis. Jedi. Okay. So then we go this way. Task to run. Oh, you're going to run an errand. Yeah, you would play that in the car. The car ride game. I Spy. Cute. That was honestly a really cute puzzle. Yeah, I don't play the spelling bee. I don't know, just for time, and it's not as fulfilling as some of these others. You do it and you finish it and you get it. And then the spelling game is more like, hey, get these 5 words, earn these points, and then, sorry, you can't play the rest of the game. I don't know. It's just, maybe if I had an actual like paid account, then I would. Yeah, bum rap. What's more fulfilling than a calzone? I know, right? You're back on calzones again. I did actually have a really, really good one. Remember, I bought a couple of flavors. I bought the steak calzone, and I bought the chicken bacon ranch, and that one was really good. It was super good. All right, a fancy party like last night. That's so funny. The things that overlap my life. I went to a fancy party last night. I don't know if I'd call it a gala. It was a wedding reception. We got the opportunity to play a wedding reception last night. We played for just under 2 hours of music. And we played, what did we play? Moon Dance by Van Morrison as their first dance. It was adorable. And they're like super good dancers too, right? So they're like dipping and, cute stuff. Gala is a fun party. A fancy party, and they had like not American chocolates there too. It was good. It was really good. Like, you have side by side, if you have like a Snickers versus like an authentic European chocolate, oh my gosh, you're like, why don't we make it like this? I know, right? You never hear about weddings anymore. That was just fun that we got to play a wedding, and the couple met at one of our previous gigs. We played a gig last year. Was it 2 years ago? And he was the dance instructor, but his partner didn't show up. And then this girl kind of stepped in just as a favor, because she was a good dancer too. And come to find out, they hit it off that night, and they've been inseparable since. So they met at one of our gigs. It was really cute. It was like a dance instruction gig. We played the music, and they instructed. Five Below, a discount store chain. Bottom stripe on a pride flag. Yeah, I am well versed in pride flags, I guess. Purple is the bottom stripe. I was just saying I had looked at a pride flag recently, like within the week actually, because of it's not the Peruvian flag, but it's like a city in Peru that has, it is basically a pride flag. And then they had what are they talking about? Like a Aztec or Incan symbol. I guess it's an indigenous symbol of some kind, and they put it on there to differentiate it from the pride flag. And then here, not to get political, but people are talking about, oh well, in a school I can't, put a pride flag anywhere anymore, and so I'll just purchase this random city's flag because it looks like a rainbow. I think that's funny. They're like, fight the system, fight the power. So they're going to buy this random city's flag and put it as a pride flag because they can't, they can't put up pride flags anymore. We were issued this statement recently that says, what types of flags you can do, country flags or, city flags or whatever. But nothing's stopping you from getting a flag that looks like a pride flag because it's some city. I thought that was funny. Oh, Void. Void says, I'll never get married. I'm ugly. Dang. Let's see. You seem lovely. Yeah, well, it's one thing to see somebody in person, and it's another thing to talk on chat. But it's another thing to downplay yourself. You're probably... Yeah, talking about the flag restriction. Till you see my face. Oh, boy. Oh, no. No. Everyone is beautiful in their own right. Everyone is handsome. Everyone is gorgeous. Is the flag restriction due to... Yeah, it's a DEI, Department of... what is it? Equality and inclusion. Yeah, they want us to in schools. I work at a school. They want me to, not just me, but they want everybody to take down, controversial flags or whatever. They're really just kind of poking at specifically the LGBT plus community, which I don't know. Let people live their lives, will you? Why does the government have to get involved? It's ridiculous. Oh, good. Very gorgeous. And my husband snatched me before everyone else. And you own it too, right? I love that. All right. Bedtime outfit informally. That is your jammies. Yeah, your jammies. Task to run. You have to run errands. I thought it was like a computer program you have to run. No, you run an errand. Actress Keaton of Father of the Bride. Diane Keaton. A car ride. You might play I Spy. My kids love spying license plates. Now, if it's from our state, they don't say it. But if it's from a neighboring state, or even better, if it's from a far, far away state, right? Oh, there's an Alaska plate, those are like really, coveted. They're hard to find. I love pointing out new cars, right? If it doesn't even have a license plate because it has a paper sticker in the back window, or I love pointing out tags that are expired, right? Expired tags. What is it? The 4th month. So if it says the 3rd month of 25, and I'm like, oh, that's an expired tag. If I was a cop, I'd pull that guy over. Country in which the automobile, aspirin, and the accordion were invented: Germany. Where the accordion's gone all over the world, hasn't it? Mountain related: alpine. I love that. So well said. Lipo says, half of beauty is confidence. That is so true. So true. Wear it well. Wear you're not going to change, right? I tell this to kids that want to record a voiceover, and they listen to their own voice on the mic, and they're like, "Ew, this is what I sound like." Or I take a picture, or somebody else takes a picture, and they're like, "Oh, I'm ugly," whatever. I'm like, that's not going to change. You are who you are. Just own it. Just be your best you. That you're not going to magically change just because you don't like who you are. Just own it. Just be who you are and love who you are. So, yeah, I agree. Totally agree. If something is mountain related. Oh, so do you have a crush in mind? Okay, well, this is a different story if he's got a crush in mind. Mountain related. Alpine. Was audibly amused. Lolled. Really impresses. Oz. Unfair reputation. Bum rap. Yeah, bum rap. That's a good one. Host of the 2024 Summer Olympics, Paris. And warrior monks who keep peace in the universe. According to George Lucas, they are the Jedi. Well, darn that Tommy. Forget that guy. I love how the chat is just elsewhere right now. Here I am doing puzzles, and we're talking about, aesthetic beauty and high school crushes. I don't know. All right, what do we begin with? What do we start with? How about trend? That's a good 5-letter word. Let's see where that takes us. Nowhere at all. That's where it takes us. How about flash? That's a non-intersecting word. You're kidding me. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh. This is like totally taking me back here. Because I forget who said it. Somebody in the chat just yesterday was like, "Oh, you're going to love the one tomorrow." And I'm like, "How can you read minds? How can you go into the future?" No freaking way. And I forget what the word was, but it's got to be, I just said flash. Clash. It's got to be clash. It's got to be clash. No way. Okay. Is that what other? No, it's got to be that. Yeah. Do you remember just yesterday? Literally just yesterday, somebody in the chat was like, "Oh, yeah, here's the word." And I was and somebody in the chat, I think it was Callie, was like, "Don't give the word. Like, that's the worst thing you could do in a chat. Come on." Just give away the answer like that. And I was like, don't worry, I have a million things going on. I'm probably not going to remember. So I started with the word trend, and then a non-intersecting word for the word trend would be flash. So I typed flash, and it's all greens. And then this sparked like a one of those not repressed, but like one of those like faint little memories. And I went, wait a sec, somebody told me. I worry a lot about kids doing puzzles in my class. This is selfish of me, but I worry about kids doing the puzzles in my class because I'm like, oh, well, the kid is probably going to like, give away the answer, right? I'm going to look over their shoulder and see them doing the puzzle and give away the answer. And so I'm very careful when I'm like walking around teaching. And if a kid is doing a puzzle, I will like beeline it the other way because I don't want to see even like remote hint of what they're doing, like what's the shape of the Strands puzzle or something. I'm like, nope, I'm out. So I go stand on the other side of the room. It's so funny. I'm not going to close the puzzle on them. I know they should be focusing in class, but I don't know. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Trend, and then flash, and then I'm just coming up with a non-intersecting word, and literally that's one of them. And then and then the word was clash. That's awesome. Clash. Cool. Okay, today's theme, FaceTime. We're talking about faces today in the chat, aren't we? And you know what, Void? I think the best thing to remember is that there are plenty of fish in the sea. There are so many options out there. I give this advice to my kids, to other kids. I get to see the gritty, raw emotion of some breakups all the time. A kid will come in crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And then, so-and-so broke up with me. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And the right thing to do at first is just to love, just to console, just to, know that I'm on their team. But if it comes up later and they're like, emotionally stable about it, I say, you know what? There's plenty of options out there. Plenty of fish in the sea. All right. Today's theme in the Strands is FaceTime. And I think I know, right? Look at the chat just blowing up, right? You guys having this great conversation. FaceTime. So this might be about someone going to jail and they are facing time. They're facing jail time. This might be about... I see the word food. Are these things you stuff into your face? Maybe not. I see a Z. That's suspicious. Nomser. What is the Z? Zer. Z, zer, I don't know. If you've never played the Strands puzzle before, it's kind of like a word search, except you don't get the answers. You don't know what the answers are. You just have to sort of find them, right? They're in there somewhere. We have to dig them out. And they don't just go up and down, left and right. They can snake around. So if you see any answers, yeah, it's all around. We'll find it. He says, look further in the chat. I don't know. I don't have time to scroll back up the chat. I'm doing puzzles. Come on, man. Okie doke. So I see an ER here. I also see an ER here and an ER here. I wonder if that's a recurring thing. We're going to keep seeing them. EX. That's strange to have an X here and a Z here. I don't fully understand what today's theme is. FaceTime. Right? It could be like a video call. Maybe it is a video call. Right? Is Zoom in there or something? I see a Z, but I don't see like a Z for Zoom. FaceTime. Maybe somebody looking at a face. It's like your nose. Let's see. Toad. I keep thinking I see words, but I don't see full words. Like rap. You might put a rap on. FaceTime. Is this about... Wait a minute. Is this about makeup? Because look. Bronzer. Oh my gosh. Bronzer. Okay. FaceTime. These are different makeup things. Oh, wait. I think I see the word makeup. Hold on. Make up. What? This is probably the spangram. Make. Or does it go this way? Makeup. I don't know. This is probably the spangram, right? Make up something. So we'll see where that leads us. So what else, right? What else? What are the makeup things? There's foundation. Tion, foundation. Oh, maybe powder. Hold on. Make up. Powder. Powder? Maybe it's just powder by itself. Okay, powder. Makeup. So am I wrong there? Is this not the spangram? I see makeup right there. Three. There's 3 left. 3 out of 6. So there's 3 left. One of them is the spangram. It's probably make up something. And then one's up here. One's down here. Oh, concealer. Concealer. Why am I not seeing this? Make up and I have to go to the E. Makeup. I'm so confused. Primer? Primer. Yeah, primer is like a foundation thing. Oh, I get it. It's a play on words. Make up exam. Make up exam. Oh my gosh. This is a test. This is a test on me. Makeup exam. Oh my gosh. That's really funny. Okay. But it's also a play on words. Like when you take a test and you do bad the first time, is there a makeup exam? Thank you. Yes. Thank you. That's really funny. FaceTime. That could have gone a lot of different ways. FaceTime, like you go to jail, you FaceTime, or you go on a video call and it's a FaceTime, right, on an iPhone or something. The spangram today was makeup exam. It's a play on words, right? If you miss a test and you make up the test, or if you bomb the first test and there's a second test you can do better on, makeup exam. In my class, we have this huge test, and it goes on the grade, and it's a state level test. This is not just a test that I created. This is a test that is given to every kid that takes my class all throughout the whole state. And they just barely this year said, you can allow kids to retake this exam. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is one of those one and done kind of tests. But because it's allowed to go on grades, they're like, well, you should be allowed to let the kids retake the test. So we do. We allow them to retake the test. I hate that fact more and more. And the reason I don't like that, you think, well, the kid can retake the test. They do better next time. They get a better grade. That's good, right? Okay, the problem with it, I don't mind if a kid takes it again and gets a better grade. That's great. The part that bugs me is that we are not preparing kids for real life. If there's a makeup exam, look at the Spangram. If there's a makeup exam, they're not going to do well on the first one. They're going to take the first one, see how well they might do, almost like a pre-test, but it's the real test, and then say, oh, when's the makeup? When's the do-over? And some kids will even ask, when's the do-over test, before they even take the first test. And I'm like, dude, try your best on the first one. What if there was no makeup? How well would you do there? And they're like, well, I just want to see how well I'll do so I can do better on the makeup. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The problem is we're not setting kids up for success. And I think it's built into the program. My school district does this philosophy called proficiency grading. We don't grade on an A through F scale. We have these certain rubrics to say, oh, here's how well you did in this area. Here's how well you did on this area. And it makes no sense to the kids. It makes no sense to the parents. They look at it and it's a different language, right? I might as well be giving their grade in Sanskrit, right? It doesn't even make sense to them. It hardly makes sense to us, but especially to the kids and to the parents. They just want to know how well they did. Did we pass? Did we get a good grade? And so the problem with it, though, is this also comes with all of these opportunities to retake and reassess and re-exam. And so what they do is they do really, really terrible on the first one just so that they can say they did it and then see what they missed and then do all of the makeup. They would rather, instead of doing all the preparation to be prepared for it the first time like you're supposed to, they will struggle through it at first, do really horribly, and then make up for it. They're not proactive, they're reactive. And honestly, the process is conditioning them to be reactive instead of proactive. It's really bad. And so to have the kids always be able to take a retake, it's totally fine to just retake the exam. We're not preparing them for real life. I tell the kids that this proficiency grading has just ruined them. They get into college and they ask their professors, oh, sorry, I did bad on the test. When's the retake? And their professors go, there's no retake. You suck at this test. You did really bad on this test. That's it. That's on your final grade. And they're not conditioned to think, oh, that's permanent. That's final. It's not how real life works either. They're conditioned to think there's all these safety nets in the real world, and there's not. If you're a barista and you get everybody's orders wrong, it's not well, I'll get it right next time. Is there a retake for that? No, you got everybody's orders wrong, you're fired, right? You don't have that job anymore. And so it's not preparing kids for real life. This is something that's actually been on my mind for a while, and I just voiced that opinion to my kids to remind them sadly, the school district, the system itself is not really setting them up for how big boy life works, right? This is not adulting. This is not how adulting works. There's not always a safety net underneath, right? So makeup exam, it's funny because it's a play on words. It has nothing to do with exams. It's funny they threw the word exam in there. It's just, it's a clever, double entendre. There's two meanings to this. Makeup exam, we're talking about concealer and bronzer and stuff. But makeup exam, there might be a do-over exam, and I'm telling you that not everything in life has a do-over. Some decisions are permanent, and there is no retake. So, but this one, makeup exam, has to do with makeup, right? I think maybe they just threw in that word exam just to be silly. I've got concealer, bronzer, primer, and foundation. And powder. Okay, somebody tell me, maybe a Lightbow or somebody tell me, what is the difference between foundation and primer? I have no idea. Because I thought foundation was like the prime layer, and then the primer, isn't that also, maybe primer is like a cream you put on beforehand or something. I don't know. Layers and layers and layers on top of a woman's face. All right, and then we are playing Letterboxd. And today we have to do it in 4 words. 4 words usually tells me that there is probably easier letters, which is good. Yesterday we were missing some key letters like L or T or some other ones. But today we've got a T, we've got an S, we've got a couple of good letters that we'll need. So let's do it. We've got it, whoops, didn't mean to click that, I just meant to look at it. So we've got a D, R, O, E, K, and T, C, H, and S, W, U, and N. Okay, so there's an S in the puzzle. There's no A. The only vowels I see are O, E, and U. This might be a little tricky. We can do CK words. We can't do SH, and we can't do CH. Oh boy. Oh, we can do TH. Okay, TH is fine. How about thrust? That's a good word. I can't do thunder because UN is on the same side. That'd be a good word, thunder. Oh. Wasn't there a U in this puzzle? O-U-S. So I could do O-U-S words. I was thinking about thrush, right? Thrush, I think, is a medical condition. And I can't do SH on the same side. So we're back to the T. Tower. How about... I'm running out of ideas for these vowels because I can only do R-E or R-U. Rend. How about just deck? That'll polish it off. Okay, a couple of smaller words today, but that's okay. You know what? You don't need to get it in 2 like the algorithm can, right? You've got some AI playing it. In fact, here, what does the AI say yesterday's puzzle was? Overbaked and dopamine. I would not have gotten that. I don't think I would have gotten that. Dopamine. All right, today we got thrust, tower, rend, and deck. Yeah, you don't have to solve it in 2. Just because a robot can solve it in 2 doesn't mean that you have to solve it in 2. That's totally fine. All right, let's see how well we did. So today in the connections puzzle, we had the green category first. That was valleys, right? The valley, a dale, a dell, a glen, and a hollow. Tint, you might say hue, color, shade, and tone. Bobs, Bob Dole, Bob Hope, Bob Marley, and Bob Ross. And then color anagrams, I thought that was clever. Definitely the purple category because I would not have gotten that. An anagram for red is Dre, Gary would be gray. Wait, red, Dre, Gary, gray. That rhymes. Genre would be an anagram of green, and then lube, mix those letters around, you get blue. Very clever. All right, a fancy party, a gala. I loved the idea in the chat. He said, oh, what if it was ball? It could be ball. But it made more sense to have gala right there. Fancy party. Oops, I'm not even on it. Hold on. Doink. There we go. Gala. And then Five Below, discount store chain. I actually have a Five Below kind of close to me. And there's all sorts of weird things in there. It's, silly things to waste your money on in the beginning, right? When you first walk in, there's candy and goofy things. And then you get further in, and there's some strange other kind of knickknacks that, I don't know, toys, art supplies, goofy things. And then you go further back, and it's more than $5, right? It's a $10 set of headphones or a, phone cover or something, right? There's kind of more fancy things that are not just Five Below, right? They are higher than five above. I mean, especially in this economy, you see things like the dollar store now is $1.25, right? The Dollar Tree. You're going to see inflation kind of hurt a lot of these people. Bottom stripe on a pride flag, purple. Bedtime outfit, informally, jammies. Task to run, errand. Actress Keaton of Father of the Bride, Diane Keaton. Car ride game, I Spy. Country in which the automobile, aspirin, and the accordion were invented, Germany. Mountain related, alpine. Was audibly amused, slangly, lolled. That's funny. Really impresses, Oz. Unfair reputation, bum rap. Host of the 2024 Summer Olympics, Paris. And then warrior monks who keep the peace in the universe, per George Lucas. Those are Jedis. Okay, and look at what we did here. And I don't know if this was subconscious or if this was, I don't know what this was. But I tried trend, and that was no help at all. So I'm like, gosh, what could this be? And I'm thinking up non-intersecting words. I said, okay, what if we did like flash, right? Because that doesn't use any of those first five. And it's blank, green, 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 which set off this like subconscious tick in my head. And I went, oh my gosh, somebody tried to give away the answer yesterday. Maybe having all greens here was subconscious, but I literally thought, wait a minute, I've heard this before, right? Because I saw all greens except for the first letter. And then I couldn't remember. Literally, I did not remember. I have had a very busy life in the last, 18 hours that we haven't done puzzles just now. And I thought, what could this be? What could this be? There's only one other thing that I can think of that would work here. Either slash. I guess it could have been slash, right? A double letter. Or, as was suggested yesterday, clash. It's better if you don't give away the answers in the chat, right? That's not as fun. Just spoon feeding me the answers. I would much rather just sort of productively struggle through this one. If you just say the word in the chat, that's never fun. And if you'd believe it, I've never had a kid just outright say the answer to me like at school, right? I did joke one time, and I said I'd spoil the Wordle if you don't go pick up your stuff from the art show. And there were kids that didn't pick up their stuff from the art show. So literally, I had to make good on my promise, and I made good on, or I spoiled the Wordle. I think it was icing that day. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, but it worked. Okay. Well, I've got a little bit of time. He says, look at the chat. You're narcissistic, but I've learned to accept it. I don't know. I don't see anything that stands out. He's like, look at the freaking chat. I don't know. Life's full of mysteries. Okay. And today's Strands was kind of tricky. I ended up going on a tangent today too, didn't I? Talking about FaceTime. This is time you spend on your face with your makeup. The one and only time I've put on makeup was during plays, right? I was on not just stage crew, but I was actually in plays in high school. And that was the one and only time I've ever used, concealer or foundation or whatever. FaceTime. I know more and more it's socially acceptable and expected sometimes that even men put on makeup. It's funny. Yeah, so FaceTime. The words were concealer, bronzer, primer, foundation, and powder. And then the spangram, I saw the words makeup, right? But I'm like, makeup what? Makeup something. And sure enough, it was makeup exam, which is kind of a play on words. It's funny. Makeup exam. And then I went on my tangent that a lot of you guys heard about, was my, kids that don't, they always expect a makeup exam. You take a big test and you bomb it. That's okay. When's the makeup? Sometimes they'll even ask ahead of time, when's the makeup? Yeah, it's funny. Okay, and then our final puzzle today was the letterboxed, right? In letterboxed, we had D, R, and O, E, K, T, C, H, and S, and N, U, L, and W. And I said thrust, which led us to the T led us to tower, and then the R led us to rend, and then D, we finished off on deck. So we did it in 4 words as they asked. Not too bad. Yeah, cool. Well, awesome, you guys. Thanks for a great stream. A couple of good puzzles today, and thanks for playing them along with me. I appreciate that. I've got a busy day today. I've got a couple of things I need to finish. I also have kind of a side hustle job on the side. It's not a clock in, clock out job. It's a freelance thing. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. And hopefully you don't have any exams or makeup exams anytime soon. But yeah, you guys are great. I will catch you on the next one. See ya.